happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now, you guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to see this one. So we got that crazy activist judge, James E. Boasberg, whatever we're calling him, back on Operation Overreach. He's once again overstepping his jurisdiction, now threatening Trump officials with jail time for deporting these illegal gang members. Guys, I'm excited to get into this one, so we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
DOJ's won't take it on. We'll win the case, but I'm proud of that agent. They did exactly what he should have done. He took a dangerous person off the street. Because he would have been released, he would have gotten bail. It's a sanctuary state, and the judge will lose this. And I hope the judge gets embarrassed on this.
And that is Border Czar Tom Homan taking a defiant stand over that heated case in Boston where an ICE agent detained this suspect during his trial last week. The top federal prosecutor there blasting the district attorney and judge who held that ICE agent in contempt. And joining us now is former assistant U.S. attorney and Fox News contributor Andy McCarthy. Here's what the U.S. attorney in Massachusetts said to the DA in Boston, that the fact that you disfavor ICE officers doing their jobs is not a basis for criminal charges. In fact, there is no legal basis for such charges. Any attempt or threat to interfere with the lawful actions of federal government agents will not be tolerated. How did we get to this mess, Andy?
Well, I think we tolerated for too long, Dana, the idea that you could have sanctuaries in the United States. When they talk about sanctuaries or safe havens, what they mean you're insulated from is the enforcement of federal law. And the courts have been very clear that immigration enforcement is a federal responsibility. I'm not particularly crazy about that. I think there should be a state role for it. It should be pulling the oars in the same direction as the feds. But whether we like it or not, it's a federal responsibility. And if state officials interfere with it, they are holding themselves open possibly to even felony charges. What
the judge said on Monday is that it's a case of violating a defendant's right to present at trial and confront witnesses against him. It couldn't be more serious. So we will continue Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we have defendants who are in custody on trial all the time. The fact that you're in custody doesn't mean that your right to present a defense has been in any way compromised. It's just absurd.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about Judge Boasberg and this continuing this fight between him and the Trump administration about these deportation flights. On Thursday, he said, "It seems to me there's a fair likelihood that that is not correct. In fact, that the government acted in bad faith throughout that day." Of course, that's the day that the gang members were taken out of the country. "If you really believed everything you did that day was legal and could survive a court challenge, I can't believe you ever would have operated the way that you did." How did it go this week for the Trump administration in this case?
Well, it's not going well on, the potential contempt front, that's for sure. And I do think that Judge Boasberg is right about this. And what I mean by that is there's two things going on here, Dana. One is, can they do this? Does American law let them do this? I think the answer to that question is yes. The second thing,
these judges, they should not have that much say-so in these federal orders to deport these, known terrorist gang members out of our country. You're telling me these guys are getting more favor from justice than everyday American citizens? This is crazy how hard they're working to keep these known criminals in our country. This is absolutely nuts. This judge, he's worse than the cartels, I'll tell you.
Is can you do it without connecting all the dots on the due process front? And the answer to that is no. And the judges are not going to look behind the national security and foreign relations decisions, but they are going to look at the way the government went about this. And the problem I think you have with the Justice Department is if they had looked Judge Boasberg in the eye and said to him, "Look, Your Honor, with all due respect, you don't have jurisdiction over planes in the air. Oh. This is a delicate national security and foreign relations matter, and you just don't have jurisdiction here." He wouldn't have liked that. And I can tell you it's very unpleasant as a prosecutor to make that kind of a disclosure to the judge. But Boasberg would have respected that. Instead, what happened is they played games with him about what they were doing, and he obviously hasn't forgotten that.
And let me ask you about this, because overall the question is, and from a bigger perspective, about judges being able to do nationwide injunctions. How do you feel about that?
I really think that the injunction should be confined to the parties that are before the court. And I know that means you could have a proliferation of cases, but to my mind, that would then get the case up to the circuit courts faster, which would be desirable, and ultimately to the Supreme Court. I think they have to figure out a way to confine the jurisdiction to the parties in the case and then more rapidly get these cases up to the circuit.
Yo, there we have it, guys. We're still seeing this judge activist. I'm not even sure I should even call him a judge at this point. This liberal activist, Mr. Boasberg, is still scratching and clawing, trying to get at, if they can't get at Donald Trump, he's going to get at his administration. Now he's threatening contempt to throw these folks in jail. I mean, give it a break. I don't think that they were playing games. Like Andy McCarthy said, they were playing games instead of being straightforward with the judge. I'm not really seeing that, guys. They said the planes had already taken off and left. I mean, this guy calls this in on a Saturday. He comes in. On your day off, you come in, oh, I want you to make sure this plane. No, it's already gone. There's nothing they could have done. But this judge, is you're seeing, fighting harder for these criminals, known criminals that are illegals in our country, more so than our American citizens. It's so sad to see these judges. I feel like this is an overreach. And one thing that just really blows my mind, kind of grinds my gears, or really grinds my gears, that these folks on the left never see any penalty, no action behind any of the things that they're doing. They're saying they're blatantly going against all these things just because it's Donald Trump. If this was anyone else, they would have let this thing happen. They would have been like, oh, okay, these are illegal migrants and known criminals, a danger to our society. Probably shouldn't have them in this country, but because it's Donald Trump, it seems like they have those Trump derangement syndrome blinders on. They can't see what's reality in front of them. They would rather put their kids' lives in jeopardy than to kick these known criminal migrants out of the country. I mean, it's just that simple. Makes me sick to my stomach to see judges like this. I'm not even sure we could call this guy a judge after the actions we've seen him carrying out on Donald Trump and his administration, now threatening to throw him in jail. Oh my goodness, guys, this is wild. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's a judge. I don't even know if you could call him a judge. The liberal activist is on a crazy power trip. He needs someone to bring him back down to reality, humble him a bit. Hopefully we see him facing some accountability. Here's some, who's his boss? Who's his higher up? You guys, hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Comments are open. I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking about this. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next week.